Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
Hey, I'm Eric Stromer. Hi,
To
everybody.
improve your home and improve your life.
Yeah, we do.
This is actually Earth Month. It's not an Earth Day, but it's Earth Month.
The entire month is dedicated to somehow improving the planet, making it better.
Yeah, and so there are things you can do, like right in your own home, right in your garden, and just kind of in your everyday life that aren't as big as like getting solar panels. Of course, there's that.
Sure, yeah.
But I know you're
That's
Mr. Coffee Guy.
And that's a huge financial commitment.
It is.
But what can you do just in your own life right now today?
Well,
to
but
help
I mean,
improve?
now you are Mr. Get the Coffee.
I'm Mr. Get the
barista
Coffee.
guy.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of this, where I'll order the coffee, and then at the end of the week, I may have 12 cups of coffee empty in the car.
Oh, really?
Around. Yeah, sometimes.
So here's the thing.
So this is what I could do to change.
You could
right?
bring a travel cup with you. They wouldn't mind. And so when you go up, because you do the drive-through thing, right?
I do the drive-through thing, yes. So I think what I'm going to try and do now, to your point, is, but then see that then I have to wash the cup.
Well,
I got to actually take it in the house and wash
you
it.
could hand it to them. They would quickly, because they have that great hot water cleaner right there.
Then
inside, they'll clean it for you.
All right, good. I'm going to try it, because that's
Okay, you're
terrible.
paying for
You see all the paper cups on the ground on the car, and then, my kids are like,
not
"Dad,
good.
what's the matter?"
So
with you?"
more things around the house.
Yeah.
How about speaking of coffee? If you make drip coffee like I do at home, remember to use your leftover coffee grounds and just put it somewhere in your garden.
I know it's apparently
great.
riddled with vitamins and minerals and nutrients for the plants.
It's going to be lovely, and it's like it's natural composting that's going to feed and really nourish anything you're growing, whether you have a patio.
I personally believe it just jacks up the plant on caffeine, and that's why they grow better.
They're addicts.
They're hopped up.
They are, but that's okay. I mean, it's a good thing for them. It's going to give them beautiful blooms. So put the coffee grounds in your containers or in your garden. Now, let's say, for instance, you have a home office.
Yeah.
What about that office printer and copy machine? Make sure that it prints on both sides. Have you ever tried that?
Well, here's how I recycle that paper. I don't do both sides. I'll take the stuff that we don't use, I flip it over, and I turn that into my daughter's art canvases,
Perfect.
if you will, because since she's a prolific artist, I feel like I'm buying reams of paper that she draws only on one side. So this way, stuff has happened on one side, she does her art on the other.
You can also staple it together and make it like little notepads.
That works
for the
great.
car,
I've done that too. You cut it in quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that works out
because
well.
you always have like on the go like little, I need to remind myself to do this, that honey-do list thing.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah.
And I know you're doing this when you're away from the computer, you're changing it to sleep mode, right?
Yes, I do always do that. Otherwise, it keeps me up, and I see the blinking monitor. That's terrible. So the sleep mode is very, very
It's going to
helpful.
save a lot of energy.
But also, to the next level, you can take the power strip and cut that off. So when the stuff's even plugged in, apparently it uses
It's that
energy.
vampire. It's basically
Sometimes
a
just
total
unplug it
power.
if you can.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go a step even further. I'm going to just shut the whole city's power grid down, and I'm going to just shut it's down.
Well, and then everyone will say, well, who did that? Well, it
And
was Earth Month, and Eric was doing some good stuff. Maybe not great. How about plugging your devices like the TV and the DVD and everything, not only into the strip as a whole thing, but then you can, to prevent that phantom draw,
Right.
have that like on a timer, too.
See, that's a great idea. Because
The games, the
to
video
your
games.
point, all that stuff. I come downstairs in the middle of the night sometimes to get the water. What do I see?
You see the Game Boy
The Game
stuff.
Boy, the blue light blinking, the TV, the boxes on, all the stuff's still going. Got to have that timer. I think that works well.
Now, in terms of if you're trying to recycle different like aluminum cans, plastic bottles, why not get the kids involved? Because this is a great lesson for them, and if they help you, then that can become their special cash or allowance to get like a little prize or a treat. But especially if you live in areas where there are bottle bills where there's some cash back.
See, here's why I love that, because now what I'm getting on my bill online from like Microsoft will be these little $1 charges that my son Dusty, who's now 10, has figured out how to charge games for this Minecraft thing he plays.
Oh, sure.
So now, like every couple of days, I get a $1 charge. So guess what? He's going to work. He's going to start recycling. Otherwise, we're cutting him off.
He's got to earn his keep.
He's got to earn his way.
How about this? Speaking of kids, I know that Willow already knows this.
Yeah.
Make sure that all of the kids in the house know how to turn off the water while brushing your teeth. And even we adults,
that
right?
That is absolutely
because
true.
Did you know that just leaving it on for 2 minutes, that wastes up to 5 gallons a day? You waste 5 gallons of water a day.
Yeah.
Just 2 minutes of letting it go
Just so
while
you
you're
can
brushing.
stare at your torso in the mirror while you're like a
Going
zombie
before,
brushing.
after, before. Yeah, I know what you're doing. You're standing sideways at the mirror.
Well, I'm doing a little flex and flirt.
See?
Yeah, that's right.
Flex and flirt. Replacing filters is not a very sexy thing, but tell us about this. This is going to help.
You know what? I know it isn't sexy, you're right. But what it does do is it doesn't tax the HVAC system. And what happens when the filters are clogged, either in a vacuum cleaner, and this goes for that as well, or your HVAC system, your heating and air conditioning system in the house, it's sucking in all the dust and the dander and all the things that are particulates that are existing in the home, and it's clogging the filter. What happens then is that the machine starts to have to work harder.
It can't breathe,
It's
basically.
like you have a pillow over your mouth trying to get oxygen into your body. It's that same principle.
So basically, we are suffocating our own heating system.
That's exactly
That sounds
right.
very cruel.
And then when you're doing that, it's producing more energy than it needs to. So please change the filters.
Now, when you're buying cleaning products, do you ever go for the stuff that says ultra?
Wait, let me
Ultra-cons-
just
sorry.
backtrack before we go on. If you haven't done this before and you don't know what we're talking about changing the filter, there's a filter that's inside of the intake in the house. It's the big square vent that's in the ceiling, sometimes or on the wall. Open that up and then take that filter with you to the store and match the same size, because that can be tricky sometimes.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
So cleaning around the house. Yeah. When you go to buy your supplies, this is something I've started to do recently, is I look for the concentrated product. And the good news here is not only are you going to save a little bit more money, because when it's concentrated or ultra, like let's say dish detergent or laundry detergent, you can actually kind of dilute it. You'll need to lose less, but you
Sure.
can also dilute it with some water to stretch it out to get more mileage out of it.
Oh, that's interesting.
And now, because it's packaged in just that right kind of a way, you aren't going to need to buy as much. So, globally, you're saving in terms of
That's a
having to
good
go and buy
idea,
more
yeah.
plastic that's the container for the stuff.
Good.
So go for the ultra concentrated.
Okay.
And then that's something else. Don't use more than the directions say. A lot of times we think, we're going to put a little extra. It's going to do a better job.
Right.
Like fabric softener. Follow the directions. There's a reason why it's there. Anyway, when we come back, if you're cleaning with one of those micro fiber cloths, congratulations to you. You are on the right track of celebrating Earth Month. That and a lot more steps to really save the planet and do good around your house.
Let's do it. Come on.
Eric Stromer, Cindy Doe, you're listening to Home Wizards. Make sure you follow us at yourhomewizards.com.
Put my faith in the people, but the people let me celebrate Earth Day.
And welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards. I'm Cindy
Hey,
Dole.
I'm Eric Stromer.
And thanks for hanging with us, because we love to make wherever you live just feel good. We call it improving your home and improving your life.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just saying.
today we're just going to give you some tips on how to take care of the Earth, the planet. This month we're specifically focusing on what?
The entire Earth.
The Earth Day.
No pressure or anything.
No.
No.
It's all in your hands, no pressure.
But how about, speaking of your hands, when you were doing dusting and cleaning
Yeah.
around the house, yes, you can use old T-shirts and old sheets and things like that, maybe even paper towels. But if you have one of those microfiber cloths,
Okay.
they really do a great job, because it'll help you save on paper in the form of paper towels.
Sure.
Because, by the way, have you noticed paper towels? They now have the kind that we buy where they make you use
Oh,
a smaller
By the way,
strip.
those make me crazy.
Because I would rather have the big size and just be really cognizant, but instead you're using like a little piece of corner toilet paper.
It reminds me of those toilet paper dispensers
just
where you get
really-
like a half a sheet and you're like
it
clawing
feels,
at the.
feels
at the,
punishing.
No, it's terrible.
But try, if you use a microfiber cloth, it's going to take the place of 60 rolls of paper towels before it needs replacing.
and that's got to be at least a birch tree and a half, 60 rolls.
And these microfiber cloths, they do a really great job of cleaning, especially like on stainless steel and certain like scratch.
And then you
know,
just rinse
vulnerable-
them out, right? You
Yeah,
rinse them out at
yeah.
the end of the day. And
It
you're,
really
you're
does
good
a
to
good
go.
job.
I think we got to use those.
Get off the junk mail list. We all want to avoid junk mail. But
Listen,
when-
I'm trying. Quit yelling at me. I'm
not
trying
yelling.
to get off it.
I know.
don't want to be on it.
Oh, and it seems like they keep finding us right on our cell phones.
Yep.
We have our landline, which we keep because of earthquakes in California,
Sure.
but it's basically sales calls only.
That's it.
So it's like, let's just get rid of all this stuff. When's the last time you've gone to? You can actually go to this website, Direct Marketing Association. So write this down, dmachoice.org.
Okay.
And you can tell them, I do not want any more of this junk mail, and it'll make a huge reduction. Like in 3 months, you'll stop getting all these flyers.
I don't
want
to see the realtor guy looking at me going, "Hey, look what we did last month."
They're
No.
sending us gifts, by the way.
I don't want to have
I mean,
my
they're friendly.
birthday singled out by the ice cream
And one
store.
more calendar with
No.
their photos.
No,
I
I
mean,
don't care.
you know, they're cute and all, but I mean, we have just so much paper.
Yeah,
right?
I take them from the mailbox to the garbage, to the recycling.
So speaking of which, after you go to, what's the website? DM Direct Marketing Association, dmachoice.org. Say no more, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And wait,
then
they police all of the junk
a
mail?
lot of it. A lot of
Okay.
it. When you register with them, just like you register with the sales call people, there's some folks that still eke in, but you will see a big reduction, like in 3 months.
That's a great
I promise.
thing to know.
Okay?
I'm so over that.
Yeah. It just takes a lot of the stress out of your life. But in
Yeah.
the meantime, speaking of, you're taking it to the trash, taking it to the streets.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
a recycling box or basket right near, either like at your entry, where like you walk into the kitchen and there's like a little counter where
Sure.
you have your mail entry box, let's say, or you go right to your home office, wherever you go,
Yeah.
have the junk recycling box right next to it. So boom, that's where it goes.
That's it,
Boom.
right in the trash.
No thought.
Nope.
Right out.
Nothing.
And you said you pay your bills online.
I pay a lot of the bills online.
How you feeling about that?
I love it. Except when, Target messes up when I'm doing transactions online.
Well,
and
they can't. That wasn't their fault.
Well,
They can't help it.
it might have been their fault.
Might have been some bad people. I don't know. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I know.
But if
I feel pretty secure. I've been buying, especially during the holidays. I exclusively buy stuff online now for the kids. Mm-hmm. I rarely go into a store. I'm a little concerned about buying stuff online when it comes to shoes, though. 'Cause I feel
know.
like you got to try 'em
Well, you
on.
have those hooves.
I do have like
Those
very
basic
tender little
baby,
hoof feet.
baby.
Yeah.
So when you buy online, when you pay your bills online,
Yeah.
you can set up automatic check paying from your bank account. No envelopes, no
Yeah.
postage, no late
Way
fees.
better.
Automatic plan, less stress.
I've been doing it so much,
Less
by the way,
papers.
that when I went to mail a letter last week, it felt like, the stagecoach was going to pull
I
up.
know.
And it just seems such an archaic system, doesn't it?
But you know what? I remember growing up, I still love the postman, and I
do
had a
too.
pen pal. I had a pen pal in India, Punjab.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
good.
so I hope that we can still write old-fashioned letters.
Well,
still,
you're going to
know.
miss the shorts on the UPS guy.
He's always going to be around. Boy, those calves on those
Hey,
guys.
take
What's
it easy.
with the
Get a room for
calves?
crying out loud.
It's almost like the prerequisite. Don't they have like the calendar for
I
the UPS
notice
guys?
you're always on time when they show up.
Very
Wait for your-
friendly,
wait
too.
for your mail.
Anyway, plant a tree. This is something you can do all year long. But you know what? That's the best way to improve the environment.
Yeah.
It is number one. Plant a tree. And you can go to the Arbor Day Foundation's website. It's arborday.org. You can get discounted tree prices.
That's fantastic.
arborday.org. And they also have a hardiness a map to tell you which trees will grow best in your area.
Great.
So get a tree, plant a tree. Just make sure that it's strategically, around your house to save you on air conditioning in the summer.
Yeah,
It's
because
gonna-
if it obscures the sun coming into the home, the
south
the
and the
long
west.
wave radiation doesn't
Yep.
get in. Therefore, it doesn't become like a greenhouse in your
Sure,
home, right?
sure. So
So
you're gonna-
shade is the number one barrier.
So, and it's gonna help outside, but it's also gonna save inside with your utility
That's
bills.
exactly right.
Like a couple $100 a year.
Now
easily.
here's a little something for the romance in your life.
What's that?
Install a dimmer.
Ooh.
Because it uses less electricity if you lower those lights a little bit. It doesn't have to always be on off at the highest setting, but it can be on. It can be real smooth during the dinner hour. If it's too low, I get crazy because I can't see my meatloaf. But it's got to just.
But it
be,
almost feels like candlelight.
Yes,
is
it
what you're-
does.
So it's
Very nice.
romantic, but it's also energy efficient, and
That's
you're going
right.
to save what on your energy bills? A bunch.
Absolutely, yeah. You could buy up to a half if you keep the
Love
light
it.
at a little bit lower setting. Also,
Yep.
the shower head. It's a huge thing. Now, listen, I got to
Yes.
tell you.
I know.
I used to be a real stickler when it came to my shower head.
Because we want the feel.
I
of
want to get soap off my body.
Right. We want a rainforest
I
feeling.
felt like in the past the low flow heads it just felt like someone was drooling on me. It
Like
was
they were
not
just
working.
misting you.
It was not working.
No.
But the new technology in shower heads is such that it really does feel like there's pressure and force. Feels like there's a volume of water that's enough to get the soap off. So
and a
please
couple of
do
them,
that.
And a couple of them have settings too, where it's like you can vary the pressure,
That's
so it's
exactly
coming out
right.
really
Yeah.
voluminous, heavy flow for a moment while you're getting the soap out of your hair,
Yep.
and then it takes it back,
There you go.
and then it kind of brings out
Bring it in,
and back,
take it back. That's
so
it.
it's kind of like it's on a nice timer to
I
cut to
agree.
custom to you.
And it's seriously way better than they used to be.
Speaking of water, did you
Yeah.
know that you should run a full dishwasher? Don't just run it with a few mugs in
Yeah,
the
I never
top.
do that.
Really, because it's going to use quite a bit less water.
Sure.
And don't waste water by rinsing before loading. I mean, I know I'm guilty of it because, well, I was just grown up. I was raised that way.
Well, same here.
But
like everybody's, my dad does this. He stands at the
pre-wash.
sink, pre-washes
Almost
with a
pre-scrub it
sponge,
and soap maybe.
then puts it in the dishwasher.
I know, but especially if you have one of the newer efficient dishwashers,
That's
we
right.
learned this when we went to the Bosch headquarters, right?
Yeah.
It prefers to have the
Well,
grime.
not only does it prefer, but it takes the when you have your ceramic, it takes the shine off of the plate because it's eating all the
Because of the way
coating
they're
of the
designed.
plate.
Yeah.
They're designed to take everything off a plate. If there's no food on it, it starts to work on the surface of the plate itself, the enamel, if you will.
Now, however, if you don't run the cycle like that night,
Yeah.
I found that if you wait till like the next day, certain brands, it's not as effective.
Well, yeah.
Like especially older,
Like my
manufa-
brands,
Yeah.
they're just it's again, it's not that great. However, the Bosch one, which I think
Oh
is
yeah, it was
fantastic.
great. Now,
You can put it. You can put a scrambled
Like
egg
peanut butter.
and it comes off.
and like the peanut butter came off, like
Yeah.
it was like a 2-day-old peanut butter.
That's right.
How about your washing machine? Now we have a front load washing machine. We used to have this very old top loader.
Yeah.
Did you know that a front load washing machine uses half the water?
Really?
It's
I
kind
did
of
not know
remarkable.
that. Because
Yes.
because I bet it can operate. Well, I don't know why it doesn't do it. Why it really it does? That's amazing.
It's just that they use less than half the water traditionally by the full load, from the top.
Oh, I know why.
more
Because I bet
efficient.
the water sprinkles in from the top, and it can still get the clothing wet when
As
it's
opposed to creating a
rotating
whole like
clockwise.
pond.
Yeah,
You're like,
exactly.
creating a pond of water
You have
that
to fill the clothes then
Uh-huh.
in a higher amount
So
of
if you're
water.
thinking about it,
Yeah.
you might want to save up, or if you have saved some money, invest in a front load washer because it's
Okay.
going to save on your utility bill and you're going to be doing some good. You're going to be saving water.
Well, now for some of you out there, this may not feel like the thing to do, but we do it in the Stromer home.
What's that?
If you go to the restroom and you do the number one, you don't necessarily have to flush that every single time.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I do this I tell the kids, just give it 2 cycles and then go.
Okay.
Not every single time.
You can also convert your toilet to a dual flush,
Yeah.
which
I
does
guess
the same
I'm talking
thing
about
for
a
you.
number 2, aren't I? Which one is the number? Which is the liquid one? That's the number
1.
Okay, yes, that's what I mean.
But you might want to also, in that process, you can get something called the Brondell Perfect Flush for like just $79,
Yeah.
and it will inexpensively do just what you're talking about. It'll convert your toilet into a dual flush, which means it knows, you hit 1 or 2 button.
Oh, that's kinda
So
good.
like that way it's not taking as much water that's required to flush.
Oh,
Into the
right.
system.
It doesn't need the force
So
and the
there's like a
pressure.
gentle flush and like a full
Well, that's
blown
a
on
good idea.
steroids flush.
Yeah, yeah.
So that, or you can just go out and get some of these really great toilets. In fact, if your toilet was made before 1992, chances are you've got a low flow disaster. You don't have the low
got the
flow.
high flow.
You have the high flow.
Yeah,
you don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
the low flow savings.
Exactly.
And this is going to probably cut you back by $200 a year
Really?
on water usage.
Again, wasted water
per
just going-
bathroom.
going down the drain.
Per
yeah.
bathroom. Yeah.
Wow.
We talk about this a lot. Remember getting some sustainable plants. That also will help you save the planet. Some great house plants that'll
Absolutely.
clean the air.
Yeah.
When we come back, we have some fun ideas to help you in the garden to bring some lovely honeybees to
Yes,
your yard.
let's
all right.
do that.
Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole. You're listening to Home Wizards.